on you, you censorious thug.
Chairman Schwab, I'm from Japan. May I ask you for... I'm from Japan.
Yeah.
And may I ask you for a comment?
No,
We're on our way to the next thing. We're a bit late.
I can just walk with you and then ask questions.
I think we're gonna rush actually. But thank you. Thanks very much.
Which media are you with?
I am an independent journalist from Japan.
No, thank you very much.
Yes.
I have to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I would like to ask just one question.
That shows the disdain that the World Economic Forum has for anyone who's not part of their team. They don't even respect, there's no transparency. You're either a friend or an enemy. A friend is someone who pays the money and bends the knee. Anyone else is an enemy. I thought that little video by Masako was one of the most telling things I saw all week.
And it's telling, I saw that, it's telling most significantly because the world's most powerful ruling classes have now conditioned themselves to know that corporate media and established media is all friendly, it's fine, and they fear the small, independent, unaffiliated, grassroots journalism. That tells you what's everything you need to know about what's wrong with the mainstream media of the world today, globally speaking. Yeah, they're there to protect the powerful, not hold them to account. What a flip. Yeah. From the 1960s and 70s, when you had people like Jane Fonda and the media heralding the Pentagon Papers, showing that the U.S. government lied about the Vietnam War. So they don't think they'd lie about COVID or terrorism or climate. I don't understand what happened to this. Yeah. What happened to these great progressives?
The merger of big media and big government is shocking. Well, listen, I know your focus, you're interested in a lot of things, but your focus really is the environment. And I want to show you two clips from John Kerry. Now, the first was actually when we encountered John Kerry. I tried to put a couple of questions to him, but unfortunately, my physical route was blocked by a gate, and I sort of abandoned it. But my colleague, Callum Smiles, put a question to him. Here, I'll play the whole clip for you to see. Take a look.
Secretary Kerry, do you think that the high price of natural gas is actually a helpful thing to get people to transition to a green economy?
I'd love to talk about it, but I just can't do it on the run.
How can you justify being here when you yourself take private jets? Can you answer that? But you've taken a private jet before. No, but you've taken a private jet before to collect a climate change award. You have done that.
I fly commercial exclusively.
I fly commercial exclusively. Well, we know that's not true in the past. He famously flies on private jets, and when asked about it, he said it's because he's very, very, very important. Do you think he has changed that? Do you think this is a bald-faced lie, or do you think maybe he's been so embarrassed that he flies first class on a regular plane now and just has to chum with the little people?
Okay, I think what this is the equivalent of is asking a lifelong smoker, well, you smoke a lot of cigarettes, and this guy's like, nope, I don't smoke at all anymore. And I think what that means is they've given up for like 72 hours and they're bragging that they quit. There was no scrutiny on his timelines. He said he flies exclusively. What does that mean? The last month? I bet he flew to the Davos on a commercial because he was probably prepared for that after the humiliation he's received. And also many other people in the United States, our Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, as airlines were shut down for the first time since 9/11 due to computer glitches, has been flying private. So there's been a lot of focus on the hypocrisy of this. So the question is John Kerry doing this just recently, and will he continue? I don't know if he's capable. This is a man who was once asked about how many houses he owned. Because he married the ketchup heiress, Teresa Heinz, he wasn't even able to add up when he was running for president. He wasn't even able to add up how many homes that he owned. So I doubt
it's so easy to forget, Mark. It's so easy to forget one or two. Yeah, give the guy a break. He's quite a character, and he really does believe he's part of a different stratum of society. And by the way, Mark, you got to come with us next year. It's just amazing. We went to this private airfield that only services two kinds of planes: emergency aircraft for like rescuing people in the Alps, and private jets. That's all there was. And there's so many paparazzi who hang out there. They literally have a special area for paparazzi to stand safely while they photograph people coming off the jets. I've never seen anything like it. And we were there for about an hour. Every 10 minutes, another private plane came in. Like, it really was incredible. There must have been 1,000 private aircraft.
I saw reports of over 1,000 private jets. And it's not just jets. A lot of times there's yachts involved and all sorts of, I remember a few years back, they had some of the receptions out on the harbor and yachts and other things. So these events, and it's just like the UN, when I was in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt back in November, I think there was 400 private jets were flown in. And interestingly enough, despite the UN's push for insect eating and the World Economic Forum push for insect eating, and they were at the UN, I didn't see anyone offering at any of the venues, restaurants, either in the UN conference or out, offering insects to the general public or for any of the delegates. So that's another example. And that's an important one because the World Economic Forum loves insect eating. That's all they push. And they are one of the biggest pushers in the world of making us go back to eating bugs as a source of protein instead of meat.
Yeah, we couldn't find any of that in town. And I should say the only green vehicles we saw were Uber was having a promotion. They were promoting themselves. And so there were Uber Teslas in town, specially brought in just for Davos. So you could get a Tesla Uber. In fact, I myself rode in one. But all of the official vehicles, the shuttles, the VVIP that take you from the helipad to the convention, all of them were big, black tinted window SUVs. No joking around with electric vehicles for the VVIPs. Just the fun demo green Ubers for the, just as a showpiece. Anyway, I want to show you one more clip, and this is highlighted on your webpage, climatedepot.com. I mean, John Kerry's an unusual guy. He's had so much plastic surgery. He really has changed his look so many times. I mention that because he says a very funny thing about comparing the World Economic Forum elite to extraterrestrials, and I can't help but think of his I'm not insulting him. I'm just saying a guy who's done that much plastic surgeries to himself shouldn't be talking about being space aliens or something. Let's play the clip and we'll come right back. Take a look.
And when you stop and think about it, it's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial to think about, quote, saving the planet. And if you said that to most people, they think you're just a crazy tree-hugging, lefty, liberal, do-gooder, whatever, and there's no relationship. But really, that's where we are.
So there's a special elite of people who are very, very special. They care about things much more than you and I, and it's like an extraterrestrial coming to save the planet. He really thinks he's that guy. If he was a religious man, I suppose he would talk about being godlike or saving humanity, but I don't think he's particularly a man of faith, so he talks about it in ET language. I think it's all about him, and I don't think it's about the world. I think it's all about him feeling important.
You're absolutely right. And even Klaus Schwab has said, we will, it's us here in this room get to decide the future. We will basically be the forces of the future. And what John Kerry was saying is they're the chosen one. He had the same rhetoric when in Iceland he was asked by that local journalist about why he'd fly private to pick up an environmental award. And his answer was, I am so important. My work is so important. I can't be tied down with commercial airline flights and sit next to a crying baby, basically. He needs the private jets. But I'll tell you about this extraterrestrial thing, Ezra. The Roswell, New Mexico incident here in the United States happened on July 8th, 1947. And almost 9 months to the day later, Al Gore was born in the Columbia Hospital for Women here in the United States. I'm not drawing anything. I'm just laying those facts out there that, there might be something to the extraterrestrial aspect of this climate crusade.
That's an excerpt from my show every night. It's called the Ezra Levant Show. That's me, Ezra Levant. You can see the whole thing behind our paywall. Well, there's a lot of goodies behind there. I do a show every weeknight. My friends Sheila Gunn Reid and David Menzies and Nat and Kat have their shows too. You get a ton of content for just $8 a month. There's so much in there you won't find anywhere else. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.